If you've been spending all your week watching that absolute demolition of Sheffield United on Sunday, or you've been spending all your week watching the highlights of us second half battering the champions of England and Europe, forget about it. We've got bigger fish to fry. We've got Burnley at St. James's Park on Saturday in a game that, yes, I'm looking forward to, but also when Newcastle are the overwhelming favourites, like you could argue that we are on Saturday, something doesn't quite sit well with me with that. I don't know why. It's probably the old it's the pre-takeover Newcastle fan in me. But we're going to be discussing Burnley at home at St. James's Park on Saturday. So if you're curious, do us a favour, Newcastle fans, make sure you stick around. Welcome back to Black and White Banter, you lovely Newcastle fans. I always normally start a video by saying I hope you've had a great week. I don't even hope you have, I know you have. Literally 2 wins in a week, 9 goals scored, 0 conceded, and we are sitting pretty. Top half of the league, 4th round of the Cup, PSG in the Champions League to come. Life as a Newcastle fan is pretty sweet. Unlike how I'm feeling, if I do sound a little bit sniffly and look a little bit heavy under the eyes, well, I always look heavy under the eyes, I apologise. I have got a bit of something, I don't know what. I think it's just a bit of all of the away trips recently catching up with me. There's got to be a name for that. It's got to be prescribed. We should be allowed to be off work for Eddie Howe's Mag syndrome. Milan, Sheffield, Man City, all the beers involved. It's tiring. It's also quite tiring making these videos. So, you know, if anyone's got a small violin watching this, please get it out now and play me a little tune. So yeah, I might sound a little bit nasally on this video, so I'll try and avoid that too close to the microphone. But here we go again, Newcastle fans. The fixtures are coming thick and fast, and that's just what we have to get used to, being an absolutely huge team who are in 4 competitions still this season. So it's Burnley at St. James's Park, but before we get into that, do me a little favour, drop me a little likey, loo, which a lot of people are telling me they quite like that term. If you like the words likey, loo, I'm not really asked. I would prefer you to just give us a little like first and then tell me how much you like the term likey, loo. And if you like this video by the end, drop down and whack that subscribe. There will be a match vlog coming for Burnley, even if I am feeling a little bit under the weather. I could literally break both legs and both arms, and I would still be at St. James's Park on Saturday in the Strawberry Corner, cheering on Eddie Howe's Mags. But if you want to watch some of the old match vlogs, Sheffield United is just basically me celebrating for the whole game. Go down a little bit further and catch that one. And Man City, I had a very special seat. I was a guest of Carabao Energy for that one, with the Posh Prawn Sandwich Brigade. That was a little bit different, so go down and check those out just below. So here we go. It's Burnley, as he says in between us. I don't really like football, but I tell you what I hate. I hate Burnley. I don't hate Burnley. I hate Turf Moor. Turf Moor is not a nice stadium, and it's probably one of the worst away days I've ever done in my life. So whether I'll do that one this season, well, of course I will. I will be making sure I've been for a piss before I go in. There was kids pissing against the wall in that stadium. But I don't have an issue with Burnley, and what scares me about this game, as I said at the start of this video, is we are overwhelming favourites here. Burnley have stormed into the Premier League after a fantastic season in the Championship last year, very reminiscent of what we've done in the Championship in previous seasons. Been up at the top for most of it and won it quite comfortably. Vincent Kompany has adapted a fantastic attacking style of play at Burnley. He looks like he's going to go on to be a great manager. Whether that is further afield, a higher team, I don't know. But what I respect about the man, not only was he a fantastic footballer, he came up to this division and he said, you know what, I'm going to keep playing the only way I want to play with this Burnley team because I believe in these players. But it hasn't really worked for him. He was always going to be up against it. Burnley don't have the budgets, as most of the promoted sides don't, to really give a good go. I know you sometimes get promoted teams who will be the surprise package. I think Sheffield United was the nearest one that I can remember under Chris Wilder when they finished 6th, I believe. That was a shock when they came up. But generally speaking, they're always going to struggle. I had Burnley down to be struggling, and they've had a really poor start. But Vincent Kompany has not changed his style of play, and I don't think he's going to. They like to play very much retrieve the ball high up the field as quickly as possible. They are a pressing team. They are susceptible to gaps in their midfield. They like to play with wing-backs. They like to even move their wing-backs into midfield, a little bit like what Arsenal have done with Zinchenko. And they will try and stay on the front foot. Vincent Kompany, whether he has a defensive coaching mindset in his locker, I don't know. Do I expect him to suddenly change his philosophies to play Newcastle away? No, I don't. I really, really don't. He's come up already this season against the likes of Man United, the likes of Tottenham, and he hasn't set up that way at all. I mean, I look back at some of their fixtures, and Tottenham at home, when Tottenham won 5-2 earlier in the season, Tottenham just picked them off. They tried to play them in a really attacking game, and they got battered. I think Son had an absolute field day that day. They got a better result. They still got beat from Man United last week. Only 1-0, but I'm not looking into that. Man United have been absolutely shite. I do not fear them in the Carabao Cup, can I just say, in the slightest. So, with all of this in mind, I fully expect Newcastle to get a result tomorrow, and it's very similar for me to the Sheffield United game on Sunday. I'm not saying we must win, because, you know, Eddie Howe's Mags are back on track. If worst case scenario, we didn't get a result on Saturday, I'm not going to hit the panic button. If we got a draw, or things didn't quite go to plan after so many games in a space of 10 days, but we should win. And I fully think that we will. Now, of course, what comes with a team who've lost as many games as what Burnley have so far, that is eventually going to come to an end, you would think. And that's what I meant when I said I don't really like being so overwhelming favourites in this one. But I just feel like we'll have too much in the locker. What I saw on Sunday, what I saw on Wednesday in the second half, not in the first half, we'll ignore that, when Man City pretty much played ticky-tacky for the full 45. That was the hardest 45 minutes at St. James Park I have had for a very long time. What we are seeing is a rejuvenated Bruno. We are seeing creativity coming back in. We are seeing Anthony Gordon being talked about now on TalkSport as he should be in the England squad. He looks chomping at the bit. I didn't want him rested against Man City. When he came on, he looked like a player that did not want to be rested against Man City. Nobody's stopping him, and I don't think Burnley is stopping him. If he starts the game how he's been doing in the last 2 or 3, even when he came on at Sheffield United on Sunday, you could even argue that he was a game changer in that one. I still think we would have gone on to win, but my God, is he a beast off the leash at the moment. So yeah, I think we'll have too much in the tank now. Team news, what are we looking at here? Eddie Howe's press conference. If anyone doesn't listen to Eddie Howe's press conferences, by the way, what are you playing at? Why are you not listening to them? They are poetry. I listen to his press conferences when I'm on a dog walk with Mags, when I'm washing the dishes. They are absolutely brilliant to listen to. And he was asked some interesting questions. Now, one of the biggest ones, Isak got a bit of a knock on Wednesday, and Callum Wilson had a bit of a tight hamstring. So I'm just sipping my Pepsi Max. Doctors prescribed it. He was asked, look, if both of them are injured, what are your options there? And that's something no one's really talked about so far this season, because it hasn't been an issue. Eddie Howe's response to Craig Hope was that, is he just laughed. He said, we'll plan around that in training. I'm sure there's ways we can adapt it. And then when he was pushed on who would actually play if both of them were injured, he said he didn't know. And everyone in the room, in the press conference room, had a good laugh about it. But it is a concern. So, for example, tomorrow, if Isak didn't pass a fitness test and Callum Wilson's hamstring wasn't strong enough to play, suddenly it's a different game. You would probably go Anthony Gordon up there by himself, like he kind of did for England when he roamed a little bit during the under-21 tournament in the summer. But we are very, very, very short in that position. And that scares me a little bit. It's the first time this season that I've been like, whoa, hang on. They might both be injured. What does that mean for us? So that's got to be a concern. Botman has had a bit of a knock. That's always a concern. But no disrespect to Burnley when I say this. And this might come back to bite me on the arse. If there was a team where maybe I'm not as worried about Botman not being in, it's probably Burnley at home, where I think we'll be on the front foot. They don't have that much quality in the final third. So we could maybe just get away with that one. But I really, really hope that he is, because he is integral to what we do. Midfield, I think Bruno, he's picking himself again at the moment, which I am delighted about. Bruno is back. He's chucking himself about. He's going in for fiery tackles. And now that Joe Linton is back in the equation, after a great second half, I thought the first half against Man City, as everybody was, he was a bit lethargic. He's back. He got a lovely assist on Wednesday. For me, the midfield is last season's core. Longstaff, Bruno and Joe Linton. Tonali, You've got all the time in the world to become an absolute legend at Newcastle. I'm not worried about that right now. Will Tonali start to become unhappy? Well, of course. He's come from a Champions League semi-finalist team that he loved dealing with all his heart, to then be sitting on the Newcastle substitutes bench in October, always with a blanket round his legs. But that's not my problem. My biggest issue and my biggest concern is winning football matches, and winning football matches well. And I see Joe Linton, when he's back, when he's carrying that ball, when he's progressing the ball up the field, as well as putting in that dirty work and, of course, getting the yellow card, him, Bruno and Longstaff, yeah, let's do it. Front three, if Isak's fit, I think he will play. Callum Wilson, if he's had hamstring problems, I don't expect him to start this one. Anthony Gordon, of course, picks himself, as we were just talking about. And then I still think that the other wing is up for grabs. I do. I don't think Almiron's made it his own this season. In fact, I would even go as far as to say Almiron's been one of our poorest performers this season. I know he got his goal on Sunday and he took it well, but, you know, he was playing through one simple pass. I don't think he showed that much quality. Jacob Murphy, I think, is still getting up to speed. He made some good runs against Man City on Wednesday. He should have scored in the first half. I'd be looking at him as a serious option to come in. Do you then, when Isak and Wilson are both fit, do you look at Isak on the left? That's constantly a conversation with Newcastle fans. Absolutely devastated on the topic of wingers, can I just say, about Harvey Barnes. I am devastated. That is an injury that I think is going to bite us squad-wise on the arse massively. £35 million man, goals in him, and he's out for 3 months. And we might not even see him this year. We've got so many fixtures. I was devastated to hear that he's going to be out that long. I thought toe injury, maybe a month. It's something under his toe. Absolutely gutted for the kid, because I really think he offers us something different with his runs in behind, with his poaching instinct in front of goal, his confidence in front of goal. I'm just crushed for the kid, and he'll be absolutely devastated. So that's a blow. It really is. So yeah, it's Murphy or Almiron. I think that's Eddie Howe's biggest headache, assuming that his strikers are fit. I don't think he's going with a different midfield other than Joe Linton, Bruno and Longstaff. I really, really don't. Anderson, I know I said he shouldn't come out because we've had 2 wins from 2, but I still think Joe Linton, for this one with Burnley in mind, he will still complement our team and probably give us a little bit more than what Elliot Anderson will. And that's no disrespect to Anderson at all. I just think Joe Linton is a foundation of everything. You know, when Joe Linton is fully fit, he picks himself. Bruno is looking too good to leave out, and Longstaff is probably a little bit more integral than what Elliot Anderson has been. And I did a video about Elliot Anderson, so that's no disrespect to him. I think he's looked great, and that is, you could argue, another headache for Eddie Howe. So there's the team. Livramento played incredible on Wednesday, but he's not bringing Trippier out. The assists Trippier brings, the free kicks, the set pieces, the support he has, the understanding he has with his right-hand-sided midfielder. Livramento's one for the future. I don't buy into Trippier playing left-back and him playing right-back. That's silly. You are not going to get the same quality from set pieces from Trippier playing left-back. Don't care what anyone says. Yes, he'll still get forward, but you are not seeing and utilising one of our best players to his full potential if you play Trippier left-back. I'm fully confident going into this one. I am going to go for a Newcastle, and I never make these ballsy predictions, can I just say. I do fancy us to get another clean sheet. We've got the momentum back, which I'm delighted about in that back 4, back 5. I'm going to go for Newcastle 4-0. I never ever make a prediction as big as that, but I just think momentum's with us. Burnley will huff and they'll puff, but they don't have much quality. We're just a better side, and we have to be winning football matches like this. Going back to what I was saying, we should be winning football matches like this. But new for match previews, I'm going to start adding little things here and there. Let's get some Newcastle Burnley stats. That's right, Newcastle fans. I'm going to start bringing you some stats on match preview videos to really get you in the mood for another Eddie Howe Mags match day. So, did you know Newcastle are unbeaten in their last 15 games against newly promoted sides, including all 12 matches that Eddie Howe has been in charge of? On a less positive note, there has been 13 occasions when a football team has scored 8 goals in a Premier League match. It's only Newcastle out of all of them teams in 1999 who went on to lose their next match 3-2 against Leeds. Let's hope that's not a good omen. Bad omen. And finally, on the Burnley side, I'm not going to keep this just biased to Newcastle. Vincent Kompany, as a player, was unbeaten in all 14 matches against Newcastle. Let's hope that one doesn't carry over to his management. But I'm not done there, Newcastle fans. I am not done there. I am also going to put a question to you, the viewer, on every single one of these videos. Because do you know what I love? I love Newcastle trivia. I absolutely love a bit of Newcastle trivia. So, there is one player for Newcastle on Saturday who is about to make his 400th league appearance. Who is it? Let me know in the comments. Newcastle fans, let me know your predictions whilst you're on, if you do know the answer to that question. And please, no Googling. Nobody likes a cheater. Eddie Howe's mags are not cheating. We might be shit houses, but we do not Google and cheat. Whether it's a pub quiz or whether it's a question from Black and White Banter. So be honest. Let me know who you think that is. Let me know your predictions, your preferred lineups for this one. I would assume that most people are going to say the same as me. I'd be very surprised. But who would you like on that right wing is what I'm quite curious about. That's an interesting position for Newcastle to really get to grips with. And if you've liked these couple of new additions, the stats and the quiz question, let me know. I'm trying to mix things up a little bit for you Black and White Banter viewers. I'll see you on the Burnley match vlog. If you go to the game and you see me, I always float around the Gallagher steps. Come over, speak to me, get on my match vlog, because I love talking to fans. That's what I absolutely love about having this channel, is just having random conversations with people and getting to know people's stories. Hit me up if you're there, let us know your predictions, and hopefully Eddie Howe's mags can absolutely batter Burnley at what is a 3 o'clock St. James's Park game. God, what's one of them? Let's see what they can do. Away the lads!